Sure, here's a speech-style, emotionally rich version of the article about Roxanne Perez and The Rock, modified and expanded into over 50 natural flowing paragraphs, as requested. She's only 23. A rising star. A prodigy. But Roxanne Perez isn't just another name on the WWE RAW roster. She's a dreamer living her dream, and now, she's one step closer to the legacy she's always admired. For fans who've followed her journey, it's not surprising who her hero is. Before the bright lights, before the roaring crowds, before Raw and NXT and championships, there was Rok-C. A name inspired by the man who defined charisma. The man who electrified arenas. The man who turned words into moments. The Rock. To call him a legend would be an understatement. To call him an influence for a generation would still fall short. But to Roxanne Perez, he was something even more personal. He was the reason. The spark that pushed her to train harder. To get up when she fell. To believe that if she worked hard enough, her name could belong on the same marquee one day. And then came NXT New Year's Evil. A night already packed with chaos, surprises, and action. But nothing quite prepared the locker room, or Roxanne, for what would happen next. The final boss arrived. It wasn't a promo. It wasn't a tease. It wasn't a video message. The Rock was there, live, in person. And for Roxanne, that moment changed everything. She'd waited years. Not for fame. Not for validation. But for this one chance, to shake hands with the man who unknowingly helped build her foundation. And she got it. In a recent sit-down with Sports Illustrated, Roxanne shared what happened backstage that night. Her words were filled with awe, joy, and maybe even a little disbelief. Yes, she said with a glowing smile. I finally met him. Those 4 words might seem simple, but behind them is the weight of a journey filled with sweat, setbacks, and sacrifice. He told me he was watching my match earlier, she added. A pause. A moment of silence, as if reliving the memory right there. And then he told me, you've got something. I saw it. You've got that fire. There are compliments. And then there are words that etch themselves into your soul. This was the latter. For someone who modeled their early career after The Rock, not just in ring style, but in charisma, energy, and passion, those words were everything. He didn't have to say it, she admitted. He could have just said hi and left. But he meant it. It was brief, but unforgettable. She remembered his energy. His presence. The way the room felt different the moment he stepped in. He commands the room without even trying, Roxanne said, almost still in disbelief. And in that moment, she wasn't just a superstar. She was a fan again. That's the beautiful paradox of wrestling. You can stand under the same spotlight as your heroes and still be in awe of them. It reminded her of why she started. Of those early indie shows. Of the moments when the crowd was a handful of people, not thousands. Of the nights when quitting seemed easier. But now she knows she was never walking blindly. She was walking toward this. You never forget where you came from, she said. She's proud of being Rok-C. She's proud of that chapter. But now, as Roxanne Perez, she carries that legacy forward. The Rock inspired her. And maybe, just maybe, she'll inspire the next generation. Because that's what wrestling is, passing the torch, one match, one promo, one handshake at a time. It was a surreal night, she said, but it reminded me, I'm on the right path. When The Rock tells you you're doing great, you don't just smile. You believe it. And now, Roxanne Perez continues to rise. Her journey's just beginning. But, she's no longer chasing shadows. She's carving her own path, and lighting it for those behind her. That brief interaction with The Rock. It's not the end of a fan's dream. It's the beginning of a legend's story. Let me know if you'd like a thumbnail, title, description, and hashtags for this story too.